In this video, we will explore how to change the graph screen on your calculator to match the graph on a paper problem. So we'll start with our calculator in standard window, meaning I just reset the calculator. Now by default, the calculator graph screen will show from -10 to +10 on the x-axis and -10 to +10 on the y-axis, with each little tick mark representing one box on your graph. To see what numbers actually go with these, we're going to press your window key on your calculator. And the window key actually shows the values corresponding to our graph. So you can see right here, x minimum, minimum means smallest, is -10. So on my window screen, I'm seeing all the way over to -10 on the x-axis. And then x maximum, maximum means largest, is set at +10, so I can see the largest x is +10. And then x scale. Scale is set to 1. What that means is it's saying each one of these little tick marks has a value of 1. So those top three were all x values, and now the bottom three are dealing with y values, same thing, minimum, maximum, and scale. So let's see how we could use this. So here I have a problem from one of the STAR tests, and in this problem you're supposed to see which one of these graphs matches the situation. So as we look at the situation, we have an exponential growth situation. And so I can go ahead and write my exponential growth equation, y equals, using the 29,000, that's my initial amount. And since I know it's an increase or a rate of growth, it's going to be 1 plus the rate of growth, so 1.062, and then raised to the value of x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that into the y equals of my calculator. And when I put it into the y equals and I press the graph key, nothing comes up on my screen. It's finished drawing, but nothing is showing, which is not very helpful to me at all. And at this point, I've had some students suggest, well, why don't we just zoom out? So let's explore that next. Okay, so over here on the right, the first time I zoomed out, nothing happened on the screen. So I zoomed out a second time, and I just started to get a graph on the screen, but not helpful because it looks nothing like the answer choices I had. They were all over here in the first quadrant. So I zoomed out 2 more times, and you can kind of start to see possibly that we've got a little bit of the graph in the first quadrant here. Again, it looks nothing like the 4 choices I had. If this is the only thing I know how to do, though, I'm probably going to pick either B or C because they were the ones that showed a really steep climb in the graph. Unfortunately, both of those answer choices are wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work with my window key. So I've pressed window, and I'm going to change my window values so that they match the values on the paper problem. So we're going to start with our x minimum is at 0. So the smallest x I want to see is 0, and the biggest I want to see is 10. So my minimum I set at 0, my maximum I set at 10, and each one of these boxes is worth 1. So I put my scale to 1. And then on the y-axis, again I start at 0, but I'm going all the way up to 50,000. So starting at 0, going up to 50,000, and each one of these boxes is going by 5,000. So that's where I'm going to set my scale. So now that I've set up my window to match my graph, I'm going to press the graph key and see what I get. And now it's very easy to see what the answer is because my graph is using the same scale as they are, and the answer choice is A.